So yeah, like that chair.
It's my butt that's up in it.
Scoots over.
It's molded to my butt because it's usually be my chair.
Yeah. There we go. We're kind of set up here a little bit. Last time our audio recording failed. So sorry. It cut out halfway through.
And it was a good week too.
I know. I was really.
How can we repeat that?
One, make sure it keeps recording, and it is. So like I've got it set up. It's recording. We're good. I feel really bad.
I was a smart ass to someone then.
Where were you?
It was actually to your dad.
That's probably what did it.
Because he asked me a question about how I had buyers in last week. I was like, well, if you would have watched last week's podcast, you'd hear about it because we talked about it.
He's not even, I don't even know if he's on the agent cell, to be honest, at this point. Also, the other thing is, Jeff likes this chair, and I hate that chair. And I don't know why you like that chair. It's the worst, most uncomfortable chair humanly imaginable.
My subjects come talk to me.
That's great.
The
Game of Thrones chair.
Yeah.
This topic this week is pretty straightforward. We have a lot of agents that are going under contract their first time, and that's exciting. So with that, I think is a good time to have a conversation about, okay, your offer's accepted. What should you do next? What are let's talk about getting through the option period, best practices, things like that. It's not a conversation about negotiations. That's a whole other topic. So let's start at. So Aldo is part of our theme right here. Aldo is hiding off to the corner a little bit, and is probably a very decent chance of going under contract here in the next day. Okay.
Nice.
Jeff, the listing agent calls you back and says, "We've accepted your
offer. Accepted your offer, Aldo,
and they've executed it this day.
We are executing it today, and I'm sending you the contract and sending it to title."
So I tell you that, Jeff, you're on the buy side. What's the first thing you're doing?
Okay, and we hung up the phone?
Just hung up with the listing agent.
I do my happy dance.
That's it's a good celebration.
And then I'm calling my client.
Okay, so as simple as that sounds, sometimes agents forget. You just got your offer accepted. Tell the client. Okay, what are the things that you talk about in that conference? Obviously, congratulating them in your own way, but what other information do you talk to them about or convey to them?
Well, I review, because it's not the first time they're hearing it, I review to them the next steps.
Okay, what topics?
So, okay, let me take it back a little bit further during the buyer's consultation. I like to give them a big overview about the process of buying a home.
Okay.
But I'm not telling them every detail. I'm just giving them subjects, right? I always like to give them bits of information as a milestone happens. So now offers accepted. Now we need to talk about what's the next steps in the next 10 days.
So you're framing out a timeline with them.
Exactly.
Okay? What are some of the things that you cover in that?
We talk again about the option period.
Okay.
We talk about how we need to get the house inspected in a timely manner.
Okay.
Any special concerns about the house, if we had a foundation concern, we need to get a structural engineer out, or if we have
a plumber for a main drain,
right,
that kind of stuff.
Have a plumbing, so we need to get those specialty people out there. I asked, do they need help scheduling it, or do I need to be, or are they going to schedule it? I talked to them about money.
Okay, yeah. Okay, what about
That's
money?
where you wanted to go first, right?
No, that's fine. That's what I was waiting for you to talk about.
Yeah, money. Talk about earnest and option money, and how would they feel comfortable getting into title? Would they want the wire instructions, or would they like to send a check? I would be more than happy to come over and pick up a check and give it to the title. How do they want to handle? What's their way? I've had people saying, "Yeah, come by and pick up a check and take it to title." I have no issue doing that. Then I know where the title company is and start a relationship with the title person. Or if it's been an out-of-state buyer, have title give me the wire instructions, and then I'll call title and say, "Can you get in touch with my buyer and give them wire instructions so they can wire the money over?"
I will go through everything Jeff said. It's a little bit different for me in one way. And so, guys, again, you're going to get different approaches from different agents. I typically will congratulate them. I'll say, I'm going to reach out to title and find out the best way for you guys to get money to them. What is y'all's available? And I review when we have to get the money in by.
Yeah,
so if it was today on a Friday, that means, guys, Monday, I have to get this in on Monday. So I was like, guys, they're going to be closed over the weekend. So we're kind of an awkward schedule. Let me have a call to title right now, and I'm going to call you back, and we're going to make a game plan.
Yeah.
for
Is
this.
Monday a holiday?
This Monday it is. So what would be the next day? Tuesday.
So federal holidays, as we know, are a pushback day. If the last day that the option money needs to falls on, it's pushed back to the next day, next business, the next calendar day. I think, right? Yeah, that's how it said. Yeah, it is next calendar day. For
Unless if it's a Saturday or Sunday, then it'll be Monday.
yeah, and it falls on. Yeah, that's right.
Like
federal holidays. MLK Day is a holiday, federal one, right?
It's a federal
yeah.
holiday.
I screw up all my holidays.
Yes, our office is closed on Monday, by the way.
I don't close for anything. I'm here every day.
I was like, this office is closed.
No, that's bullshit. We're never closed. Yeah, we don't. We close Christmas, and that's like it. Christmas.
He wanted
and
to
New
be
Year's.
open the New Year's Day. Or what
Yeah,
was it?
New Year's
no,
Eve?
No. What was it?
Christmas Eve. I'm here.
Christmas Day was on a Thursday, and you wanted to open on a Friday.
I was here on a Friday.
I was too.
I wasn't. I was in Barcelona.
Must be nice. So for those that what's the nice way to say this? I guess you're busy. You've managed your time very well.
I managed my time very well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but we're open. I'd say some other snarky things. I'm tempted to.
Don't be like your dad.
I know. Okay, taking this back on track. So, guys, especially Aldo, I call the rep or the agent. If I'm on the buy side, I usually don't know the rep. There's a good chance I don't know them.
You're talking about the title rep?
Yes, because the seller typically chooses that title company. I introduce myself. I want to talk with them, talk about my client. And in that conversation with title, which is happening right after I said we're going under contract, if it's a first-time buyer, I tell title. I let them know it's a first-time buyer, if it is. And
Hey, for first-time buyer or someone that needs their hand held. Because I've had buyers...
Someone's older.
Yeah, I have clients that are not first-time home buyers, but they act like them.
Hasn't bought a home in 30 years or something. And they could be even more nervous.
Sure.
Like, what are some ones to look out for? Elderly clients who struggle with technology, that would be one. A widow, that's a common one. If someone, if their husband or if their spouse, whatever, if they relied on someone else to make a lot of the big financial decisions, divorce situations, first time buying a home after a divorce, those are ones I kind of try to pick up on and find out and you'll know what their anxiety level is before that. That's something to...
I think it's our job to make their life easier. That's why I don't mind going picking up a check or, or handling appointments for them. I think it's part of my job.
It's a good celebration hug. I like picking up the check. I like walking it over to title, shaking the hand of the escrow officer that we're working with. And then even if we talked on the phone, I think when people know you, things work better.
That's good, and I appreciate that. And I like that. But a lot of title companies, this is all going to be done through email.
Typically,
yeah.
If you get the chance to say hi, go for it. That's me. That's just how I like to work. If they're not available to say hi, it is. It is what it is. So you're finding out if there's a way to wire it over. If they have a portal that they could log into to give the money over to them. Most, if not always, they'll accept a check. I think always.
Yeah.
So picking up the checks is pretty common.
A big.
I guess it depends on the amount. They might have a limit.
But a typical sell.
Typically. Okay, so we've talked with
a certain amount for the check, and then you go to a wire.
A wire or good funds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that number amount is, but I'd estimate probably about 20K. If you're getting over 20K, you're probably they're probably going to want a wire. And that's what if you're in like a higher price range on like a farm and ranch or a luxury home, wouldn't be a bad thing to kind of talk to title about that and ask what their limits are. So there we go. Very good point. Okay, so we've talked with title. We've made the introduction. You also send a title if the listing agent hasn't the executed contract.
Yeah,
for them to receive.
Typically, customary from what I've come across is that the listing agent sends the contract to title, and then it's the buyer's agent's job to get the contract to the lender.
Yeah, of course.
That's customary, and that's what's kind of it's done, but not all the time.
Because usually the listing agent knows
the title
company has the relationship. Okay, so You go under contract, you interact with title, then you get the executed contract. Make sure your lender knows you're under contract, and talk with them and make sure. And I always like to ask, every time I talk to a lender, I'm paranoid. I like to ask them, hey, is there anything we need to deal with? They have everything turned into you. Do I need to pester the client?
I think what you need to do too, before you do all that, and although you're on the right track, you need to have a calendar. And I have a whiteboard in my office, and it has the columns. I should have taken a picture of it. I didn't know we're talking about this. It has like the address, client's name. Then the next column, it says EC, executed contract. I put the date of that on there on the board. Then I have AO, and I put the date that option ends. Then I have F for financing approval when the date that ends. And then I have a checkbox where I put HW, home warranty.
Okay,
and,
yeah.
And check that I sent it out. And then the next column is for me. It's DA and then DAS, meaning has my DA been
Sent.
done?
And sent.
No, done. And then DAS is sent.
Oh, okay.
Jeff likes to
Okay.
get paid.
I want everyone to get paid.
Oh, and I want to have closing date on there too.
Although,
Just because I'm on it on my calendar day, does the survey also include that holiday pushback or no?
no, there's not really an out based on the survey. Okay, as long as it's accepted and does not influence the contract in a negative way, and there's no issues, you're fine. Okay, you're fine.
I think as a rule of thumb, with the exception of option, they're mostly all calendar days.
Yes, except for option, everything is a calendar day. Yes. That's a good question. So you could make it. You could put it on a board, and so once I've had all those conversations, for me, that's about when I'll make my dates. I put them in my calendar. I put reminders on my phone. That's what I like to do.
I have, and I'm old school. I have it on a whiteboard right in front of my computer, so I can literally look up and I can see what date option ends. I could see everything on there, and it. If you have one deal going on, it's not that big of a deal. But if you have a few, when you start getting a few deals, all you gotta do is just look up and you have your answer right there. You don't have to thumb through your contract.
I like that. That's a good method.
I'm a visual person. I have to see it like that versus on my
So,
phone.
Brooke, I'm going to recap days. Things I put on a calendar or track. Due date for funds. Okay. I would I make a to-do list, and I keep a running to-do list for each deal. Okay. And one of the things I'll put make the calendar dates. I put that on there as soon as I find out we're going under contract. Even though I'm going to do that in the next hour or two, get everything set. I like to check it off. So I like to make a to-do list. I want to order the inspection. So I'll give if I have not already decided on an inspector with my client beforehand, I'm going to then give them a list of a couple inspectors, and then I'll call them and find out their rates. I'll say, hey, these are the three. Would you like me to call them and get their numbers? You're supposed to give them a choice of inspectors. Okay. I ask for their availability and what they charge, and I ask about their experience if I don't know them. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Why are you good? And then I'll just bring that over to my client. Who would you like to work with? Boom. Call them back. Scheduled it. Now it's scheduled. Okay. Now we've got the dates together. Now we've got the inspections ordered. Okay, Jeff, do you show up for the inspections? How do you manage inspections?
Okay, so let's say an inspection is 3 hours. I'll show up after hour 2. And I instruct my client to show up towards the end of the inspection, not at the very beginning.
So how do you find out who should you ask when they should show up?
The inspector.
Bingo. So my point is don't guess. Ask the inspector, hey, my clients would like to say hi, and kind of visually
And go over the report.
and get a report. Go over what you're seeing. What time should they come by?
Right. And what I found out is at the end of hour 2, depending on the square footage of the home, that's when you show up. When they're I get there with the client, and the inspector's almost done putting things away. That's the best time to show up, because then he puts out his laptop, or he goes over in the camera and looks at shows you the photos and explains the report to your client. And all I do is I start writing notes.
So not all inspectors would be up for this as new agents. I did this and I really enjoyed it. There was a gentleman who's retired now, and Goodman is his last name. Good Lord, it was
Good something.
Yeah, and like really cool, nice guy. Him and his son did inspections together. I don't even think they're in the business anymore. And I called him up. I said, look, I'm starting in real estate. This is one of my first deals. Can I bribe you? What can I bring? Can I follow you? Like, would you be okay with me following you and just watching what you do and what you're looking for? And like, if you ask and they read the room.
There's a danger in that though. There's a danger because if you do that, they could miss things.
They might, but I got a lot out of it. Like, I really did personally. I bribed him. I brought Gatorade or coffee or something like that. And then they were just walking me through everything, and it did take them a little longer. It took them about 30 minutes longer to get through it, but it was for me it was good. So like just something to consider. Yeah. Maybe make them miss something or something. If they've been around, I'd make the argument if they're going to miss something because of a conversation, they're not very good. But that's me. Okay, so inspections. What questions do you like? Okay, so you've now shown up, Jeff. Let's now go to that meeting. You're there with the inspector. They've walked the home, Jeff. Let's set the scene. They've walked the home. What is that conversation like? What are you asking? What are you saying?
Well, I'm mostly listening.
Okay.
And I'm making notes. And, he's, again, I can go to a million different directions. But I start asking the inspector, is this a deal killer? Is this something that's important, or is it just a little violation that you have to point out, depending on what we're talking about?
So asking
any good inspector will not scare away a buyer.
Yeah,
they're kind of just the facts type of person. And if they are the type that scares away the buyer, I'll never be hiring them again or recommending them again. And there was one that I thought was really interesting. It just so happened I had the listing that's next door to where I live. And the inspector was talking to the buyer in the backyard. I was in my backyard. I could hear what they're saying. I hear the inspector tell the buyer, I would never buy this house. This house is going to fall down. Just
that's
like
cool.
Being Pollyanna about it. And I was like, I can't believe I just heard what I just heard. So.
If you get, now, okay.
I won't be ever hiring that one.
I think a lot
By the
of
way,
times,
the house is still standing to this day.
Yeah, it's stupid. They're just being, what are the, okay, let's kind of like really quick on a bit of a sidebar, identifying bad inspectors, okay? One, they only do inspections like a couple times a year, okay? They're family friend. Like, so let's say my buyer says, I've got a family friend that's an inspector. I'll call that inspector. I'm like, hey, tell me what kind of business, how much business do you do in a year? And if it's like 1 or 2 inspections a year, I'm going to try to talk my client to using someone else.
These are deal killers. That's what.
Because they're deal killers. Okay, there's something wrong. That's an immediate warning sign if that inspector only does 1 or 2 a year, and it's the family friend inspector. I might not have my client show up if they're scared. Like, I know this is where Jeff and I might deviate. I might be like, okay, guys, let's wait for the report. And he's going to want, but that inspector, if he's only doing 1 or 2 a year, he's going to try his best to lay into the client. And I'm sorry, guys, that's just going to suck.
That's another question: is how long does it take you to do a report?
Yeah.
Any experienced inspector can do it
that day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or that evening.
That evening, that day. Have it to you by the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're there sitting down. Let's say we're with a good inspector, or at least a decent inspector. We're there. We're talking with him.
What are the major things that are defects in this house? That's what we need to talk about.
I like to ask, how's the roof? Any major concerns on the roof? Any
Roof,
major plumbing signs or HVAC concerns?
Plumbing,
that you see?
HVAC.
Roof.
I already said roof, plumbing, foundation,
HVAC, and electrical.
Those are the big 5.
Any major issues that you want to show us? I ask them that, like, do you want to show us something? And that's me. I mean, Jeff probably has.
Yeah, I go over the report with them. So basically, when they get the report, there's no surprises.
Yeah, I don't like surprises.
And then I talk to my client. I sidebarred my client without the inspector there. I'm like, what's important to you? What do you feel is important?
So open the door for them to kind of talk about areas that they might be concerned about.
Said roof, HVAC, and what?
The big five: HVAC, roof, plumbing, electrical,
Foundation.
foundation.
And it's real casual. Like, I mean, Jeff and I will have different. You're hearing the same thing from different personalities. Like,
Right.
we're pretty similar in how we work. But I just be like, hey, walk me through this, any major issues and stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't really go page by page because they don't have the report done there.
No,
But,
I go photo by photo.
with the okay. Remember, we're meeting the inspector there at the property. I'm not talking afterwards. I'm talking while we're there.
Photo by photo.
Oh,
already
so you
took
go
the
through
photos.
his you actually go through his photos with him.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and the inspector that I recommend the most, he actually has his laptop open,
Oh,
and we go through the photos on his laptop.
okay, that's cool. So if they have the photos, that might be good. Like, I used to just make him walk me through the home and show me. But if they have the photos, great.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, guys.
Because am I going to get on the roof? No. Sorry, I'm not
I
going to do
would.
it. Oh, I don't.
I'll get on the roof.
No.
What'd you say? What?
I'm not going to get on the roof, so I got to have a photo of it.
I'll get on the roof.
There's
I
no-
work
there's no
hard.
need for
I
it.
work harder than Jeff.
Nah, I work smarter than you.
I want to see this. How can you, yeah, I want to see what's going on.
Yeah, I have a photo of it.
But how can it's not the same as seeing it.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'm just screwing it.
And I don't get in the attic either.
All right, so we have the conversation. Okay, now this is the part that I think a lot of new agents kind of get a little. It's like, oh, okay, how do I manage this? Because there's some issues. Guys,
It's very simple.
go ahead.
It's very, very simple. So we discuss what's important. Okay. What do you want to do? You got to understand. We got to do what our clients want us to do. What do you want to do? Is this a deal killer? I explained the option period to you. We can back out and we can go find another house, or we can ask the seller to make these repairs. We can ask the seller to give us additional money to make these repairs. What's important to you? And feel their temperature. Because what's a big deal to Jeff may not be a big deal to my client. Who's buying the house, Jeff or the client? The client.
I asked the client while the inspector's there I like to get them to bring up, because if it's a good inspector, they'll help me talk through this with them, okay? And so I'll say, hey guys, now that you've seen this, look, we're going to get the report. I say, we're going to get the report, guys.
Yeah, with the details.
With the details, but hey, right now I want to start setting the stage for how we're going to move forward.
For me, the report is to help me write an amendment, not to show what's wrong with the house, because we already know.
You've walked it
Because
with
we were
them.
there, right? So there's no
Yeah.
surprises in the report.
I like to kind of start talking about areas that they're concerned about there. And probably you do the same thing.
Mhm.
So I'll be like, hey guys, what areas are most important for you to be addressed? And then I'll have the inspector there, and I try to get three. I try to get, what's our, in a good way, if someone's a little nervous, and I might set the tone as, hey guys, give me your top 3 areas we want to get addressed.
Mhm.
Okay? I don't want a laundry list. That's the quickest way
It's a used house.
to piss someone off, is the laundry list. Like
Well, and also something to be concerned about too is how bad did we beat them up in negotiations?
yeah.
Did I get $10,000 off a list price? Then we got to be kinder when it comes to repairs.
Some common sense.
I had an agent call me today, and is a listing agent, and this seller was pissed off over a $2,000 roof repair. And my response was, well, what did they do to their negotiations? Well, they got $9,000 off the price. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what he's pissed off about, not the $2,000 repair.
Yep. That's words of wisdom, guys. Like, you guys push hard in negotiations. Unless there's something like major, like an actual surprise, probably not wanting to hit them up for huge stuff. Like on mine, they asked me, I literally I'm under contract right now, and I'll disclose this on there. They asked for they had a laundry list. The guy's a first-time buyer, and so I'm sorting it out with the agent. I called the agent and I asked him, like, hey, what are the areas you think your client would value the most? And I'm even going to walk it with a contractor. I'm actually going to meet him out there. I wouldn't normally recommend this unless you have some experience, but I'm going to walk the home with a contractor and have him point out some stuff they want done on Monday to be nice. Little things, because I got a guy who'll do it all for me. That's not a normal thing. But the thing is, when you send the laundry list, guys, I'm warning you, it
One way to
does
piss them
not
off.
go well.
So, normally, what's on a laundry list?
changing the stupid smoke detectors, putting in like
because the battery's dead.
Because the battery's dead. A bunch like
caulking.
Some caulking, some stuff like a list of 25 little things that are not going to materially impact the day-to-day life of someone.
Like a crack in the wall or something like
Paint
that.
that crack. Adjust put this in or wanted me to re-insulate the whole attic, and I'm like. No, I'm not going to do that. If there's insulation, it's settled. Sorry. It's an old home.
When are agents going to learn? You give a laundry list like that, there's one word that you're going to hear.
The easiest word.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Versus
so you lose
if you
everything.
came with me with 3 big things, I'd be like,
Okay.
Now,
So
I got the
with
laundry
my
list,
client, I would say these are the top 5 things. What's the most important to you to get fixed? Because this is what we're going to look at. All these other things are incidentals. They could be done.
That's a really good way. So you see that it's when people have been in the
That's
business
good.
for a while,
That's
very good experience. Set a number.
but
Don't just do open and okay, guys, let's name all the problems. They're going to go the whole inspection report. And if they
Well,
say that, you need to hit the brakes.
in a lot of our conversations, Brad comes with the mindset of a buyer's agent, and I always come with the mindset of a listing agent. So that's the 2 different perspectives you're going to get from both of us. You just sign an as-is contract. Why should I have to fix anything?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
We negotiated enough. Didn't we do that during negotiations when we talked about price?
Yeah.
Got to remember, guys, the seller does not have to fix a single thing.
But they want to sell the home.
Period, though.
They want to sell the home.
They do. But you know what? At the end of the day, I still have a house. I still have a product to sell. I didn't lose any money.
Yep.
You lost your inspection money. Your earnest money is tied up at title until it gets released, which could take a while. And then you got to go look at more homes. I still have a product to sell. I'm having an open house this weekend.
Okay, so I'm
What's
going
the
to
big
give the
deal?
buyer's counterpoint for strengthened negotiations. No one wants to go from active option back on the market because it leads to questions. There's you're absolutely. He's gonna huff and puff and make.
We're both going to huff and puff back and
Yeah,
forth.
we're both gonna huff and puff. The listing agent, like Jeff, is gonna go. We're just gonna go back on the market. They don't want that. They can say.
Fine,
all
we
they
go back
want.
on the market. I
There's
have
a
a house
cost.
this weekend. I'll get it under contract.
Yeah,
Did it once, can do it again.
That's true, but there's going to be questions now.
I hold a record
Yeah,
5 times.
5. Yeah, you've. Yeah,
No fear.
it's not fun.
No fear.
And most listing agents are not as hardline as Jeff, by the way, either, or as good as Jeff. Let me put it that way.
Thank you.
Now, I will say this for buyer's
few.
agents: the things that scare me the most, water. I know this sounds strange, but let me explain my position. Okay,
I agree with you.
leaks.
I agree with you.
Better. I don't want any leaks in that home because it's only going to cause more damage for the property. There was one on mine. On the toilet, the little you twist. My gosh, the valve. The valve was leaking slightly on one of the toilets. Okay, I'm going to get that fixed instantly because I don't want water damage in the property. Water damage is the devil. You
I
don't
agree.
want any water damage.
And again, I was just hard ass for
But yeah.
a reason, and it's because what sets me off is those little laundry list
Well,
things.
yeah.
A perfect example with Sherman, the one Airbnb we just closed. During the inspection, found out that there was a plumbing leak. It was a sewer leak. And,
Yeah.
But the repair was unbelievable. It's only going to be like $2,000. However, we get paid at closing.
That's nice.
That's all they asked for. We
Yeah.
did it. No problem. There was no issue there. We were happy to do it.
And you'd have
Because
to
it was-
disclose it.
And it would be and it could be a big, it's current Airbnb, so it could be a big problem if they just didn't do it. So something they had to do anyways.
Yep.
But this house is 100 years old.
Right.
Okay, so he didn't send the report, but maybe since it's closed now, maybe I can ask for the report. Because I'm curious to see what that report looks like. Because there's probably 100 things on it that's wrong with that house.
Right.
The house is 100 years old, right?
Yeah.
But that's the only thing they asked for. And there was no animosity or nothing. It got done easily. But you want to see the hard ass comes out is you give me a page and then addendum to the page. No.
Yeah. No.
Not
Yeah,
and you got $10,000 off in price. I just gave you your repairs.
This is what they sent me.
Oh, I would tear that up in front of their face. and I'd be pissed off.
I'm good. Okay, so
No.
I'm gonna
Look,
work
they can't read it. But look, can you see?
yeah, it's
No,
long.
they can't.
They kind of see it. I don't care. If
No,
they see
look.
it.
And that's typed. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So they really,
I know your house. I've been
they
to that
really
house.
sat down and thought about that,
They thought too much about it.
right?
It's a first-time buyer. That's when this kicks
Okay.
in.
No.
So
My
you have
response
that
is
Typically.
no. My response is a first-time agent though.
No, newer.
Well,
They
it's the
are.
agent's job to calm that buyer down and not ask for that.
She admitted. Okay,
Too
I need to be
nice.
very careful because we're currently under contract. But she admitted that she didn't show up and should have showed up for the damn inspection, and she didn't. And the inspector laid into it a little bit. This is bullshit. That happens. This is why you show up. Okay. Now, I'm managing this. Okay, hold on 1 second, Pam. I don't want to just hardline no someone because I don't want to lose the buyer. I like the offer. It's great. I'm happy. I'm willing to talk with them. And I found the more I have that buyer talking with their agent, the more they get their anxiety out. So I'm like, hey guys, you know what? I'm going to go walk the home. Let me take a look at some of these items. Okay? You tell your client, hey, I've got them. We're going to find a way to move forward. That's what I tell them. That's so non
I would have done something
but it's
different.
confident.
I would've done
It's
something-
different than
I would have done
Jeff.
something completely different.
Jeff is
than this.
very different. He's an ass. Okay?
No, I'm not an ass. I'm a
Yes,
great
you are.
negotiator. I'm gonna make everybody happy right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna make both people happy right now. Both buyer and seller happy right now. All right, you're the agent, so I'm gonna call you Brad.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, so Brad, I see your laundry list of ridiculous things. No, I see your laundry list of what your concerned client has, and I see some of those things on there. You know, thank God there was nothing major on it. My client has agreed to give your client $1,200.
Yeah. Normally, okay, now that's a good point on the listing side. Guys,
Look at these
it's
items.
almost in everybody's best interest to take it to a dollar amount. Because then you're not having, imagine, it's not just the dealing with the problem, the money, you're paying for the same thing, the work to be done. Okay? But when the buyer gets to do it, they get to pick who does the work and they get to work through those issues on their own.
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
And
the
the
seller side is
really
gone.
Want, on the buyer side, so it takes the seller doesn't have to deal with it. They'd rather just pay the money, but it also lets the buyer be more in control over the work.
So
it's in everyone's best interest.
all these
to do
items
it.
are, if you get all these done, it's worth more than $1,200 to be honest with you.
I'm not doing all of them.
But you know what? Again, everybody likes to spend other people's money, right?
Yep.
But they don't spend their. Now, what's important to you? I'm giving you $1,200. Now, what are you gonna actually get fixed?
Normally you'd want to always take it to a dollar now.
So $1,200, and you put in Section 12 settlement charges. You add $1,200 to the closing cost. Did they max out their closing costs?
It's already maxed out. We
That
talked.
was mistake number one.
There's some other things that happen. I don't want to give the price, but let me just say,
She's
the
gone through
price
that offer.
is really good.
Gone through that offer.
Yeah, it is. My net is really nice. Okay, they really went. I don't want to go into all this, but let's just say it's above certain things. It's very good. I'm fine. I'm a rare situation because
Yeah.
I can get the work done insanely cheap on this for a few of them, and I might toss them $500 or something. And there's a few on here like the draining for the sink. It's not draining right. They screwed up. They didn't do the drain. Like it's draining. The water's backing up. The guy who put the stupid new dishwasher in didn't said do it correctly. That's an easy fix. Okay. Another easy fix is there actually is a leaking valve. I don't want that leaking. I'll take care of it myself. The things most of the stuff I'm not going to do.
I don't want the liability on my sellers anymore, so that's why I tried to negotiate money.
So what would you do about the installation and the pest issue?
I ignore it. I just tell them I'm not doing it. So now
I know a great exterminator. that
So
you can
here's what I
hire.
tell them to counter some of this. I say, guys, let me remind you, and I give. Okay, here's something here's something we could talk about. I give the other agent ammo to work with. Okay.
I got to teach them how to negotiate with their client.
Yes. So let me tell. I'll just tell you exactly what I told the other agent. I can use a
Okay.
very real situation.
Right.
Guys, multiple offer situation, and let me you know it's a good deal. I tell that other agent that it's a good deal, and I make them acknowledge it. It's a good deal, guys. We're going to find a way to move forward, but here's the deal. There's new windows, there's a new HVAC system, new roof. We're the only home in the market doing that. I know this is a great deal, and I know your client's going to be happy with the property. Here's the deal. I can see there's a couple items on here that were a little surprise even for me. That leak, I'm like, I got you. I'm going to take care
They're
of
all a
that.
surprise for you.
Well,
No, I knew about some of this stuff.
the
It's
leak-
older.
Did
The
you
leak
close
I
it?
would.
What?
But you disclosed it.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
I'll see Aldo.
Yes, sir.
So it was disclosed. So then they knew about it.
They knew.
So then that should be
see it.
reflected
They
in the-
could see it. You can see it walking.
Well,
the
then that should be reflected in the price of the home and not repairs
home.
afterwards.
And that's what I told her.
so
I
we got to
said,
take that off.
I'd say, guys, some of this stuff, these little details, no home's perfect. I feel like I took that.
I'll
into
tell you.
account
I'll
with
tell
the
you
price.
another one that we just did. The one we closed in December.
Yeah.
Let me see
I
that again.
represented the buyer.
I cannot. I don't want to
Oh.
do this.
I represented the buyer. Okay.
I just.
So this
Actually, you know what? I don't care.
Jeff
It's
is
fine.
Jeff is
I'm the
switching-
seller, and
No,
I'm
we're-
Just switching hats. I represented a buyer in December, and it was a good value that we bought. I got probably about 15,000 off list price.
Yeah.
And how I did that was we went in there and it needed a lot of cosmetic stuff. The house was kind of abused. My client knew that. I dinged her for cleanliness too because the house was dirty.
Yeah.
And then I noticed on the roof there was a couple of shingles missing. So in negotiations, I addressed all that with her. I was like, how do you want to do this? Do you want to negotiate this on the front side before I submit an offer, or do you want to negotiate it on an option?
That's nice. I
And
like
she
that.
said, let's negotiate on the front side. So I'm fine. I need $15,000 off the price. Okay, great. Inspection came. We did our inspection. All those things that we said came back. I told my buyer.
that you expected.
I told my buyer, we're not going to ask them to repair this. We're not going to ask for money off. We already got it.
Yeah.
Simple deal. Close.
I'm not. Obviously, I'm not the buyer's agent on this one, but like, there's value there. Remind them of the value. Okay, we've made the list.
Yeah.
You've addressed
That's
it. Take
my,
it
that
to
was
a
my whole
dollar.
point. It's like we looked at the price we got, the value there.
So would you go back and say these are which 3 things are really important to you to have fixed?
So what I did was I went to the other agent. I said, guys, is there anything on it? I do have a contractor who can do a little work, and I want people. And she said, I think they were about to terminate. They were freaking out. So like I could tell by her tone, she was stressed. I said, we're going to find a way to make this work. I am absolutely telling you right now, I'm not touching that insulation. I'm not doing that. That's
Right.
ridiculous. It's taken into account in the price, and a lot of these things are not going to impact.
When you get a
your
new
daily
AC,
life.
you can get free installation anyways.
Yeah, it's bull. They already have a new AC. It's all nice. It's very nice. I said, look, great deal for a home. Why don't you find out from the client what their 3 most important areas to
Right.
be addressed, and then I'm going to take it to either a negotiated amount of money, but I happen to have in a unique situation a plumber who owes me a lot of favors, and I have a contractor who will do some stuff. So little things like a PRV. She's like, they're obsessed over this PRV.
Really?
Fine, whatever.
Really?
I know. I don't like them, but that's a whole other story.
That's a whole different story, right?
But for like $100, I can get this. I can get everything done on there that I think get this done for like
What was your
$500.
pressure?
Yeah.
What's that?
What was your pressure?
I don't even know. They didn't even tell me. I don't want to know.
No.
So I don't care. It's not going to be my home after closing.
No, but I mean, is it like 90 or is it 120?
It doesn't seem that bad to me. Seems fine. Dude, PRVs are bullshit, but that's a whole other thing.
Right.
So my point is, like, I'm asking again, take it to your top 3, and I'm either going to put it to a dollar amount. Like, I'm slow rolling this to the conclusion.
Okay.
Okay.
How long of an option did you take?
I think it's 7 days. I have to go
Good.
look. I have it on my calendar.
Good.
No, I never do more than 7.
Good.
And I made them double their option money when they gave it to me too.
Were they going to give you just $70?
I want 400.
Ah. Now you're acting like Jeff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want it to sting a little bit for them to back away. That's me. I don't like small option money. Anyways, this is kind of, guys, we've had a good talk. We've gone under contract. We've talked about kind of working through all the way to inspections. I think that's a good. We can maybe talk on something in the future, but I think we've hit our time here. This is good.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
good.
I'm trying to think, is there anything else that you would need to do?
We can talk on negotiations and
No, not negotiations, but during the option
but
period.
during the option period. You're obviously going to get this worked out. You could end the option period.
Or you don't get it worked out.
Or you terminate.
Yeah, it's 2 things are going to happen. Only 2 things. You're either going to work it out or not work it out, right?
That's a good way to look at it.
You know, so if you work it out, great. Then option's over with. Then you let the lender know the option's over with. That he can start ordering the appraisal. I guess it's not as important now as when it's really busy. But like I always tell him, it's time to order the appraisal right when we determine options over.
So I do have a question. Would you have all of these done before closing, or would this be?
For a contract before closing.
Everything has to be done before closing unless otherwise agreed upon in writing beforehand.
Okay.
That's in the contract, Section 7, completion of repairs and treatments.
And and as of last
Paragraphs.
year, this is another reason why I like money versus doing the repairs. There's more proof now that you actually did the repairs.
More
with,
proof required.
With warranties too.
Warranties have to be transferred, and you need to have a receipt that details the work that was done, and also it shows that it was paid. It needs to show that it was paid.
So that means I have to hire an electrician to install a light bulb if that's what we agreed on to. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
So you would.
So you don't agree on that.
Yeah.
So the plumbing, you would have to have a warranty on it?
No, if there's a warranty,
Then it has to be
transfers.
transferred.
All right, then it has to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some don't.
And then the HVAC.
Some warranties don't transfer.
The HVAC.
Usually there's going to be some kind of warranty that goes along if it's a new system. They can have it convey. I'm not aware of any warranty, so I don't have to convey that damn thing. Yep.
Okay.
But like your brother John, that's handy, can't be doing these repairs.
No.
Right.
No. You got to get a receipt
Okay.
detailing the work.
Yeah, and that burden of proof, it bothers me.
I don't
Because
like
again,
it.
I'm a purist when it comes to contracts, so that bothers me. So that's why I'd rather say, hey, here's $1,200.
Right. Here's
Then that takes the seller responsibility out of it.
I'll give you this. You fix what you want, and
Yeah.
let's move forward.
Yep.
And not saying I don't trust bridge contractors, but what if they suck?
Who's going to do? Well, yeah. Who's going to do the work is the one you're paying. The person they're going to work for the person that's paying them, and they're going to make them happy.
Yeah.
But you put that back on the buyer so that they can hire their own contractors. And
Yeah.
then you're
Or
out.
not. It
And
doesn't
then-
matter.
They
It's
can do
just
whatever they
money
want.
makes it go away.
Right, and you're not in the middle of it.
I just want to go to closing.
Right.
Yes.
So you offer them a settlement and just go on.
That's a good way to think
on
about
the
it.
listing side, I want to get to closing and make as much money as possible and avoid as many problems as
Headaches.
possible.
Right.
And in this
Bingo.
case,
I like what she said. You're offering them a settlement for those issues.
It's
I
kinda like a
that. Then it's
settlement,
done.
yeah.
Then it's
right.
done.
So we're going to give you $1,500. You pick who you
Hey, I
want.
said 12.
I'm sorry, you did say 12. We're going to give you 12.
Hit him. You can hit Jeff. You get him butt.
Oh, I got
So
my
we're
shot
gonna-
there.
Good.
So we're going to give you 12, and then you can pick out your own contractors. And then
Do
if
whatever
it
you
doesn't
want.
work, I'm not online for it, and I'm not going to get the call in 6
And I'm
months.
not gonna
No.
write you a check for
You're not
$1,200.
responsible
It's
for it.
coming out of my proceeds at the end, so my client's not coming up. What if the seller's dirt broke and don't have any money,
Yeah.
but they have equity in their house? That's how you do it. You do it in settlement charges.
Okay. True.
Yeah, so they're not actually physically writing a check to a contractor. Like this plumber. Okay, so my client, they live in Austin. This is the Airbnb person I just sold. They live in Austin. They don't know contractors here. Yeah, I know contractors, but they don't know contractors. And they're selling their Airbnb. I can say it now because it's closed. They're selling their Airbnb for a reason because they were low on cash.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have extra cash, $2,000 just to throw away on nothing, right? So
Yeah.
they took it, but they were making about $80K on the house.
So
they
they come out of the settlement.
money is just money.
It just
It's all money.
It just transferred right on.
All right, guys. Good stuff. God bless y'all. Remember, we have our round table for the sales meeting next week, and then the Thursday after that, we've got our Average to Excellence seminar. Very excited about that. Y'all need to be there. Adios.